So hello guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video. And I've been playing Peach Showtime for a little bit now, and it's really good from what I've been playing. It's much better than I expected it to be. It's just really fun overall, and like with the demo, I mean, yeah, I had a lot of fun with the demo, and it did give me a fairly good impression of it, but I feel like for a lot of people, it didn't really kind of satisfy that, and a lot of people were still confused what this game was trying to be. And yeah, I totally get that, because from what I've seen from the demo, it didn't really represent this game as a whole really well, like with those first two levels there. Like, I don't know, it's just something, it's just kind of weird, even though those are the same first two levels as this game. Once you get into the game more with Peach Showtime, then you realize what this game is kind of all about and kind of get the appeal of it. I mean, yes, it does have a lot of variety, but the direction is clearly there, and you can kind of see like a lot of consistency here, even though there is a ton of variety and a lot of different movesets and things. Like, each of the levels, like even though they control differently, and a lot of the times, like the playstyle is very different, like they all still have the same core structure. Like you start out as Peach like without her ability, then you gain the ability, you can find like all sorts of little hidden collectibles, and you do like different tasks and kind of move through the area, because it's fairly linear, like for most of the ones that I've done so far. So, and it kind of has like a little story involved with it too, which is cute, and like it's just really nice and charming overall. And like the structure, I feel like, is kind of what holds this game together pretty well. Like, I really appreciate the amount of variety that there is between, like, different levels and everything. And I kind of, like my prediction, I kind of do notice, like, the difference between some of these stages. Like, you have the more action-based ones, like the ninja, sword fighter, like, thief, different things like that, which, like, I mean, they do have their control differences, but I feel like their structure is, like, pretty similar, and I mean that in a good way. Like, it doesn't feel directionless, and it doesn't feel like they just, like, threw in a bunch of, like, random ideas. Like, all of these feel very polished, and they're all very fun to play through, and they're actually not the only levels with those abilities. There are, like, a few different levels, like, I think, like, 3 each, for these different, like, abilities and everything. And there's actually a lot of, like, boss fights as well, which I'm kind of surprised, and they're actually really fun as well. Like, they definitely take advantage of the different abilities that you have and everything. Like, the sword fighter boss fights are all really fun, and they basically utilize that one move where you have to, like, dodge the enemy. Like, at first, when you're dodging the enemies, it just seems like, oh, it's just doing that so, like, the enemy doesn't hit me immediately. But no, it's actually a really cool mechanic, and, like, with some of the bosses that utilize it later on, like, it's actually, like, something that you can kind of utilize and kind of learn more. It's actually just a really cool mechanic overall. And that goes for, like, all of the other things as well. Like, I haven't had, like, too much time with these abilities, because I've, like, for a lot of them, I've only played, like, one level each. But, like, they're all, like, implemented very well. And the only, like, weird one so far, which I still liked, is, like, Detective Peach. It's a little slower paced, and I can see why some people didn't like this one quite as much, but I still enjoyed it for what it was, and it kind of gave me some, like, Paper Mario vibes a little bit, because, like, kind of reminded me of Shiver City from Paper Mario 64, or the train from, like, Thousand Year Door, kind of like a detective mission there. It was still pretty cute and pretty fun. I love the little feet characters. Like, they're, like, basically, like, the NPCs here. And there's, like, a lot of different, like, feet characters, which are really cool. And they have, like, different outfits and different things. I think they're really cool. I really like how they've been introducing, like, new NPC and species into the Mario universe lately. They did it with the Poplins in Mario Wonder. Now they're doing it with the Feeds in Peach Showtime. So it's pretty cool that they've been kind of introducing more things in the Mario world. And then there's also like the Sour Bunch in this game, which are like basically the villains. And there's Madame Grape, who's the main antagonist, and they're really cool overall. Like the vibe that they have in like the different bosses and things. The two main bosses that I played so far, which is basically like a giant door that you kind of unlock like after you do like all of the different stages on a floor. Um, those bosses are really cool, and there's some pretty cool mechanics involved with them. They kind of remind me of the Portrait Ghost bosses from Luigi's Mansion 1, as well as like the Yoshi's Island bosses a little bit. They kind of give me a similar vibe. They're like really iconic and just really fun overall. The music is great as well. I would say like the music in general in this game is great. And all the different like levels here that I've like played through so far are just really fun. And I really like the theming as well. Like with the theater theming, I mean, kind of like reminiscent of like Super Mario Bros. 3 or the battles in Thousand Year Door. It's really cool how they kind of flesh that concept out here. And it's definitely utilized really well. I just really like how everything kind of like goes together and like how this art style works and everything. It just looks really nice. And I could definitely trust Goodfeel with making a very stylized game, because that's basically all of the games that they've made, like either with like basically like Kirby Epic Yarn, Yoshi's Woolly World, Crafted World, Wario Land Shake It. There's like quite a lot of like very stylized games that they've made, and Peach Showtime is no exception. It's just really cool how they kind of utilized everything here. I like honestly, this game gave me a lot of like Yoshi series vibes. Like the feats kind of look like characters from like some of the Yoshi games, and it kind of makes sense considering the fact that like once again like Goodfeel is developing this and everything. So it's just really cool overall. I just love the theming and aesthetic here. It's just really nice. And yeah, I would say Peach Showtime is just a really fun game overall. Like, it's definitely a lot better than I expected. It's not directionless. It's not, like, all over the place. It's actually, like, even though it has, like, a lot of variety, it's a lot of good variety. And I feel like it kind of comes together in a really nice experience here. And yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.